Well, after days and days and days of this, the palace remains absolutely silent. But somebody who knows the palace's side of the story pretty well is journalist Petronella Wyatt. She's a very good friend of the Queen Consort, has been for decades, and she says that she had a ringside seat, as she put it, to the collapse of Camilla's first marriage to Andrew Parker Bowles. What do you mean you had a ringside seat? And if you did, what did you see?
Nothing salacious, I can tell you that. A ringside seat in the sense that I would meet them a great deal, and we moved in the same social circles, and I'd meet both of them at parties and events. And I came to like Camilla very much because she was a very modest, down-to-earth, no-frills person, completely authentic. The absolute opposite of a schemer. She wouldn't know how to scheme. She couldn't even spell it on a Scrabble board. She's generally one of the nicest people I've ever met.
Are you part of what Prince Harry refers to there? Are you part of the fight back? Are you part of the palace's attempt
oh, yes, they call me 20 times a day. Demanded to undermine Harry. No, I have had no contact with the palace, and other journalists I know have had no contact with the palace. The palace have not said a word. And it's just an example of Harry's breathtaking hypocrisy and his seeming departure from reality.
Well, he has been... Look, it's really interesting because Tom Brabby, in his interview, or was it Anderson Cooper in his interview?
Honestly, there are so many,
with respect to them, I'm not sure what he said in which, but he was asked, you've been very scathing about Camilla.
Yes.
And Prince Harry says, no, I haven't. I haven't been scathing about her. However, he has... I mean, people would take issue with that because he said that she was the villain in the public eye, and that she then was complicit in stories being leaked in order to rehabilitate her reputation, and as a result, his reputation was sacrificed on the altar of her PR. Is that what happened?
No, it's not what happened at all. First of all, I think Harry is a tremendous hypocrite because he's a self-avowed feminist, and yet he takes his very nasty pot shots at a 75-year-old woman who can't answer back. So where's his feminism gone? If anyone accused Meghan of scheming her way into marriage to the royal family...
Well, they have accused her of that.
Yes, they have, but that creates howls from Harry. So why is he doing the same thing to Camilla? And why is he taking absolutely no responsibility for his own mistakes, which were not leaked to the press by Camilla? There was one example of a leak by one of her aides that was unintentional, and the aide was immediately sacked. But she has never, ever briefed against her. She wouldn't do that. She's a very, very kind person. She was very sensitive where both the princes were concerned. And she's also completely without ambition.
What do you think the impact of all the things, mostly in the interviews rather than in the book, but in these television interviews...
The interviews are very inflammatory.
Well, I was going to say, what do you think the impact has been on our king, on Camilla's husband? Do you think that finally has breached his patience with his son?
I think there are 2 points to be made here. He adores Camilla, and he'll be devastated for her. More so than Camilla, because Camilla will rise above it all and you know, keep smiling, get on with the job. She never indulges in self-pity. But Charles adores her, and he'll be deeply hurt. However, although they've said it's a red line, I believe that Charles will forgive Harry anything.
When you say they say it's a red line, who says it's a red line?
Well, it was said by royal sources that the red line he shouldn't cross was Camilla. He should not attack Camilla. But I honestly believe that Charles, who is a very decent man, will forgive his son anything and has a slight guilt complex with regard to the way he's sort of turned out and behaved, and perhaps blames himself a little.
What's your analysis? So, as we say, you've known Camilla for all these years, and by implication, Charles, the King. What's your analysis of how they ended up getting together? and how that relates to her first marriage to Andrew Parker Bowles. What's your overall take on it? What happened there?
My overall take is that there was no scheming involved. When Charles married Diana, Camilla literally sort of went away. They ended any romantic relationship. And Charles was actually besotted with Diana, certainly besotted with her physically. And he tried very, very hard. And I know that they didn't start seeing each other again until the marriage had irretrievably broken down and Diana was having her own affairs. And it was actually friends of Charles who rang Camilla and said, look, he's so miserable, he's not even functioning as a human being. Can you please try and cheer him up?
And what was her marriage to Andrew like at that stage? And what was his behaviour?
It was a little bit rocky because Andrew is a great guy, but he's sort of irresistible to women and a bit of a Lothario, which I hope you won't mind me saying, because... but he was a sort of catcher of London when Camilla married him. But not an easy man to be married to because he had women chasing him all the time.
And did he respond to those advances?
Did who?
Andrew.
Are you suggesting I chased him all the time?
No, I didn't you. I said, did he respond to those advances?
I don't like to say. On occasion, sort of, probably yes.
So two marriages in similar difficulties.
Two marriages in
difficulties. And two people who'd always really loved each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But Camilla never sort of resumed her relationship with Charles until his marriage to Diana had completely broken down. And I can't emphasise that enough.
And you say few women in public life has been as unjustly maligned.
Well, that's true, because Diana... Remember, Diana was young, beautiful, most famous woman in the world, had the media at her command, which is another thing that Harry seems to forget. And poor Camilla was vilified. She was actually subjected to violence because she had bread rolls thrown at her outside a supermarket, which is horrendous.
Right,
and has never happened, thank goodness, to Meghan.
We have to leave it... I mean, honestly, we could talk all morning, but we do have to leave it there. Petronella Wyatt, thank you very much indeed for joining us. It's been a pleasure. And just to establish, you were not instructed by Camilla or the palace to come on air.
Quite the contrary. Yes, and in any case, I don't take instructions from anybody.
I'm just, you know, just in case.
No, I can swear on oath, if you like, I was not instructed by Camilla or any member of the royal household to come on here.